Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather and I am so glad that you are here today. It is time for another quick update on where I am with my skin cancer surgery, the nasal reconstruction, and the recovery from it. If this is not something that you've been following along with, if it's something that's not really interesting you, that's fine. I've got plenty of other videos that are about running on my channel. Feel free to click on any of them and I will see you back here next time. But for those of you that would like an update on where everything is going, then please stick around. Now, at the end of the last surgery, you'll remember that there was a strip of skin that was left attached to my cheek and then the other end attached to my nose so that it could develop blood vessels, get a good blood supply there, and make sure that everything was good so that they could close it off and finish off the hole that was on my nose after they had cut the initial tumors out of the front of my nose. After a couple of weeks, the doctor determined that I had healed enough and built up enough of a blood supply that it was okay to proceed with the second stage of nasal reconstruction. And so on December 30th, we ended up going to the surgical center specifically for that set of doctors instead of to a hospital. And the first thing we did was take a COVID test, tested negative, of course, because I don't go anywhere and I'm masked up anytime that I do. So once the test came back as negative, then we were allowed inside to the surgical unit where they prepped me for surgery. I met my nurses, my anesthesiologist. The doctor came through and just reaffirmed what we were going to be doing that day. We finished the surgery in about 45 minutes. About 45 minutes later, I was out of recovery. I was able to go home and rest for the rest of the day. And so this is what we have ended up with. You'll see it looks quite a bit different from last time. That strip of skin is gone. They closed up this part of my nose. They closed this part of the defect the last time, and you'll notice that that is still healing. There's some little scars there, and this is what they have stitched up this time. This scar here is from the initial surgery where they were removing skin from my cheek. This is where they closed it off, and then they closed this off here. So there's a lot of stitches still through here and through here. I'm not gonna lie, this surgery was more painful than the last one. Apparently there were a lot of nerve endings right through here, and so all of them just got triggered all at once when they were going back in to repair everything. And so I've had to take some painkillers in order to kind of dull that down. Lost a lot of sleep because of it. It was very hard to sleep with all of that still healing. Was not able to go out for a run or a walk. I was barely able to get out of bed just because I was so tired from the pain and from not being able to sleep. So it was a rough week or so. I've just finally, this beginning of this week, been able to start getting outside and getting some walks, but staying covered up because I want to keep anything and everything out of this until the majority of the healing has been done. So I'm waiting to hear again from my surgeon so that he can take a look at it and make sure that everything is healing properly and making sure that there aren't any further complications. Eventually these stitches will be taken out and we will start the therapy on the scars in order to make them a lot less noticeable on my face. So it does take a while for scars to kind of die down and heal, so that's going to be a several months long process and trying to get this to look as normal as possible again, but this does look a lot more normal than it did before. I just want to remind you, if you don't take anything else out of this, just a couple of things. First of all, make sure that you are wearing sunscreen out there. Again, he said this was not just from the last few years. He said this was a lifetime of sun damage building up on my nose, and I just happened to get it in a spot that's a little trickier than anywhere else that you would normally get it. If it were on my head, my ear, or whatever, that'd be very easy to just take off with the Mohs surgery and you know, let it either heal itself or do one little stitch on it and it would be done. So this was a rather complicated process, and still I am a lot luckier than some in that I didn't have to go through chemo. This was just the one process in order to get this done, and that the cancer, as far as they can tell, is gone. I don't have to worry about cancer coming back in that same spot. And the second thing that I want you to get from this is remember that this all started with just what I thought was a pimple on my nose that started bleeding and then wouldn't heal. And it was after about 6 months of it not healing that I finally had it checked out. And that's when I found out that it was not a pimple, it was in fact the edge of cancer that had been forming in my nose. So just remember, If something doesn't seem right to you, please have it checked out, because it could be nothing, but it could also be something, as I learned. I didn't know when I went to the doctor if he would tell me, yeah, this was just a really stubborn pimple and that maybe I would need some sort of a shot or something to help it to heal a little faster. But as it turned out, it was cancer. And you never know. All I knew was that something wasn't right, it wasn't healing, and I wanted to get it fixed. I wanted to make sure that nothing was wrong with my system, and that maybe things weren't healing the way that they were supposed to. So again, wear sunscreen, and if something seems wrong, please have it checked out. Again, thank you so much for being part of this journey with me. We'll maybe take another look in about 6 months and see how everything is healing compared to how it looks today. But thank you for all of your kind words that you've been leaving in the comment, for all the support that you've been giving me. Thank you for tuning in. Just thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here in the Geek Den with me, and I hope to see you come back again. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the running content that I have coming out on this channel all the time. While you're at it, even if you are subscribed, you may want to ring that bell down below. Just hit the little icon that looks like a bell, and it will let you know whenever I upload a video so that you can watch it when it comes out. You can also follow me on social media. You can find me across most platforms under the name RunningGeekGirl. All the links will be down in the description. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad that you stopped by, and I can't wait to see you next time. Happy running.